Hello, welcome to start the new Windows Prives course. So if you've seen my previous sort of thing I did on Linux, just covered some basic privilege escalation concepts for the Linux operating system. Now I'm going to be doing the equivalent of that for Windows, obviously going over its differences and how things are. A quick introduction for this, so the few things that I have changed in this one, so I'm trying to speak a little clearer. My mic should be getting better, you shouldn't be hearing the laptop, any other sounds in the background. And for the future videos, I said my mic will be changing. It's not a priority yet, but it will be in the future when I start releasing some more things. And as well, in this course, there will be still some practical demonstrations, but I'm going to be giving out a lot of resources for you to do yourselves on platforms such as TryHackMe and some links to boxes that people should be doing to learn certain things, rather than me just demonstrating it. I appreciate it's obviously something. It's a very practical skill, but watching a video isn't really going to cut it for a lot of people. So you need to go out and be doing it in order to learn it. So I'd highly recommend, just more than anything, if you taking away from this course, or if you can call it that, just go away, read resources, of try and understand things, then just go and practice, set it up on your own machine, and have a good play around with things. So before we begin, just some references. I didn't do this on my previous course, or I might have mentioned some things, but I'm just going over where I get a lot of my resources from, or references, should I say, where I basically find all the information from. So firstly, Payloads All Things, a really brilliant resource by Swisky on GitHub. Basically, it's got every sort of single privilege escalation path, or near enough every single one that you're going to find on most machines, or just different ways to get your neurons firing. Think of how you can escalate in a machine. Second to that would be hack tricks. I use this a lot if I'm pen testing or just looking at anything new. I always check hat tricks and things like that. I'll just give it a quick Google. It normally pops up on there. If it's not on there, I'm probably either looking at something wrong or just searching wrong, because there's a lot of information on there. Thirdly, try hack me. So a lot of this course, a lot of the stuff that people want to be practicing, the practical aspects of it, I'd recommend going and try hack me because it's free. You can just open up the Windows Privilege Escalation hub and try these things out on there for yourself if you don't have a Windows machine booted up or anything like that. And then we've got Hack the Box. Obviously, that's more of a, if you want to go out into the wild and practice on some other boxes of the machines, it's a little bit different, so you're not going to know necessarily what's on them. You'll have to figure it out for yourself, or I'll link some boxes where the specific concept that I'm talking about will be on that platform. Finally, OffSec, not only just their resources they provide, but obviously Proving Grounds, their like practice boxes, things like that. Just thank you to all these resources, especially the unpaid ones, more so to them, providing all this information. I'm just trying to collate it all in one place, so it's a bit more accessible to people. But obviously, I'm not going to make any illusion that this is my information. It's mostly theirs. A lot of this is just things I've used, and there's things that I found very useful looking at boxes. Thanks to a lot of these resources. So getting on to the first sort of topic with finally the automated tools. So the tools we'll be covering in this course of WinPs, Windows Privilege Escalation. I can't remember what the rest of it means, but basically it's just like a toolkit, and it'll go through a lot of the enumeration for you. Doesn't mean rely on it. As I always say, do not rely on a tool. You want to know how to manually do these things. Don't just boot up a tool and expect to do it for you, because you have no idea what you're doing. Windows Exploit Suggester, as it sounds, it's going to try and find kernel exploits or just anything on the machine, any programs that are running things like that. It'll have a good look and see what's available. That is run on WinPs as well, but it's another manual tool that you can use. Finally, Power Up, the module in PowerSploit, really powerful toolkit. I enjoy it. And LolBas. So if you've ever used GTFO bins on Linux, a previous course I mentioned it. Basically, it shows binaries and their usages for Linux and how you can escalate privileges. LolBas is essentially that equivalent for Windows, except it goes over every single application, I believe, on the Windows system, and it'll just tell you what it can do, what it can be used for, and some other interesting things. So, a little quick mention as well, AD specific tools. I'm not going to be covering any Active Directory stuff in it, it's a whole different beast, but in the future I will be doing that, and I've got a lot more information. I've got a little basic thing covered, and I'll be doing separate videos on these sort of things, more so Bloodhound, not just ADPs, but I'll be going over Active Directory privilege escalation in a future set of videos, but that's for the future and not the scope of this course. So this is my current sort of folder with all of my privilege escalation things. This is what I'll use on a machine. There's a few random things. Obviously, it's not very ordered. I probably need to organise it. There's a few other things I'll use as well that aren't on here. So maybe the 64-bit versions of certain binaries, things like that. If I'm on a 64-bit machine, I've got them somewhere on my machine. But this is my main sort of toolkit I'll use. So if you people want to go and have a look and see what, if you just Google some of these scripts, these PowerShell scripts like get CLSID PS1, get service ACL, Mimi kittens, things like that. If you just have a Google, if you don't know what these things are, have a look and then just get things activating and firing, and you can have a good look and see what these things are prior to me mentioning it, or maybe I don't mention some of these tools in this course, but just have a look anyway and just get yourself familiar with them.